Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we are playing ZEPHON for the first time, which is huge, actually. If you guys don't know what ZEPHON is, it's made by the same studio that made Warhammer 40,000, GLADIUS, Relics of War. All Warhammer games have titles that are far too long. They buck the trend. 6 letters. Crazy. It's crazy. God, trimmed so much away. Trimmed so much fat away from this game. No, it's gorgeous. It's their own universe. It's not a Warhammer thing anymore. They're self-publishing it. I want this to succeed so much, because having played only like a handful of turns just to like make sure it works, I'm already in love with it. I'm already in love with it. So this is the demo, by the way. This is coming out as part of the Yogscast Festival of Games, or whatever they call it, for, you know, indie game showcasing on Steam. So go on Steam, get this demo, play it, wishlist the game. It's great. I'm going to show you guys just how great. I'm really enjoying it. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not some like crazy high-octane thing. It's like Gladius. It's so much like Gladius, but with a unique world. And I'm so enthralled by it. So, this is an early look at the in-development version, alpha version of the game. As such, there are bugs, imbalances, and missing assets. The demo is limited to a single player against one opponent on a tiny map. 2 leaders are available for selection. We will probably play both, one after the other, sequentially, and 1 NPC faction is present. This is also like a big thing that I love about this game. Research progress is limited to the first 3 tech tiers. Gladius had 10. I don't know if this will also have 10, but there's 3 and the tiers are huge. There is so much research to do. It's really cool. They've really expanded that feature of their kind of, their game formula. And the game ends at turn 50, which I think is so sad that they've done this. Just let us finish the game. It's already limited in so many other ways. At least let us conquer that one tiny map. But 50 turns is just not long enough to do that. It's such a shame. It's such a tease. Curse you. Anyway, full version will have co-op, multiplayer, larger maps, advanced world generation, blah, blah, blah. So a million things, okay? So we're going to jump in. I'm going to play as the Fallen Soldier. I can't change what this is. It's just always the other one, right? At least I'm pretty sure it is. So we'll see the other faction. So at the moment you can see there's a choice of 2, but these are all the different ones you can play as when the game is out. Like, that's pretty great. Gladius had, 4 factions on launch? So the fact this game is already, and like creating these from scratch, not just going, oh, here's existing IP, let's translate, 4 factions. No, let's create 8 from scratch, and I think that's really, really fun. So, Fallen Soldier gives us the benefits of Undying. The Fallen Soldier's followers carry a piece of his flesh around to share in his uncanny healing power. Units regenerate hit points each turn. Having regeneration in a game like this is huge, because in Gladius you had to basically camp out for hours to restore health before you get them back into the fight. So often you just send them in kind of hurt and they end up getting killed. I'm sure that happens to everybody. Anyway, military background, decades of training taught the Fallen Soldier to secure transports as fast as possible. Starts with an Outrider instead of a 3rd squad of militants, so slightly different starting units. Leave no man behind. Bringing every soldier home comes with a high price. Unit upkeep of the Fallen Soldier's army is increased, so they regenerate, but they cost more. I think that's fair. And survival training brackets elite. I don't know if this is something that you get when you hit a certain point in the game, where oh, your stuff has become elite, therefore they get this. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what the brackets elite thing is. In a crisis, only the best soldiers will make it out alive. Spend influence to increase the level of a unit. I don't fancy dying again. Let some other bastard do it for a change. That's what he sounds like. So the Fallen Soldier never made it to a bunker. So this will give us a bit of an idea of how the world is. This is Earth, right? This is future Earth. There's been some kind of interdimensional extraterrestrial threat that, as far as I can tell, the aliens came to flee the weird, techno-virus AI thing that was killing them, and they happened to land on Earth. And that just sort of doomed everybody. They're all dead. There's now a bunch of, sentient jets. It's basically like Horizon Zero Dawn, where, the robots started evolving and stuff. It's kind of like that. That chased the aliens here, and then turned all of our jets and tanks into crabs and stuff. I know, awesome, right? Really fun concept. And just the humans were just oh, okay. So this is happening now, is it? And there you go, apocalypse. So now it's all Mad Max, but mutants and aliens and crabs made out of tractors or whatever, you know, just weird stuff. Really exciting and interesting, and we're some, you know, facet of the human race who has survived and is trying to, you know, create a civilization with whatever ideology we happen to have. There are many. So, really cool concept, high concept, crazy stuff. Really fun. So, he was already dead. For the cowardice in the face of the enemy, or rather, for cowardice in the face of his elite platoon being crisped from space, and the sky being on fire and the world ending. He was made an example of, tried, convicted, executed as the world burned around him. It kept him occupied, at least. So he knows he should be dead, is dead, can't possibly be here, walking around in the aftermath. He saw the guns face him, heard the bullets fly, felt the dull impacts, the transient impossible pain, death. Didn't feel an afterlife or anything like that, just died quickly, painfully, and then found himself sitting on a bunk in the barracks, in webbing, gun on lap, like he'd just dozed off. Except the barracks were ruins and everyone else was gone or dead. Some days he wonders if he's an angel. On those days he takes extra cold baths. Because the thought excites him. No. This time, though, he is determined. All that survival training, all those military months in the mountains, swamps, moors, dead places of the world, all those hours of theory in the academy has fitted him perfectly to be here. He doesn't want to kill anyone who stands in his way, but he will know when he has to, and do it without hesitation. He doesn't care for factions, human, machine, other. He just wants to help humanity survive, and bring people with him this time. And really, he'd really rather not have to die again. He's Captain America. I get that impression. He's the gritty remake of Captain America. So anyway, we're going to play as this guy. Also, there's the Heartless Artificer, who is an ex-architect, come techno-fascist. So, kind of fun. Very Mechanicus inspired, I feel. So, let's get to it.
We were not ready for their divine judgment. We were tested, and almost everyone just failed. Their dark mysticism shattered an era of enlightenment and ushered in the dusk of the 21st century. Billions of lives were lost in a heartbeat, turned to ash, and cast away in the wind. Our soldiers were gone, but our weapons kept fighting, driven by an enigma in the networks. Their surviving forces waged a desperate crusade against the machines. We became bystanders to a relentless war. Now our world is an ever-twisting nightmare. Hellish threats lurk in every whisper and shadow. There is no glory, only survival. Deliver us from this trial. Reclaim our world for mankind.
Real cool stuff. Also, it reminds me of sort of more Nordic RPGs, like Mutant. If you know that one, they had a video game. You had like a pig boy, a pig guy with a shotgun, you know, stuff like that. But the whole like sort of grimdark apocalypse, mutants running around, all that stuff. It's great. I think it's a really cool thing. I think this setting would make a fantastic RPG because there's enough overlapping reasons for the world to be ruined that it just leads to so much, like, you know, fun exploration and threats and excitement and whatever. So anyway, here you can see we have engineers. These are going to be the guys who they can build roads. That's new, by the way, over Gladius. I know I shouldn't compare literally everything to Gladius, but I know most people on my channel have seen that. I am going to try and explain things in a way that helps people who haven't played that, but anyway. So you can basically found cities with these guys, but also build roads, which I think is a really fun addition to help transport yourself places. This will give us extra... So this bazaar, I think building a city by the bazaar sounds like quite a nice thematic thing to do. There are other resource nodes kicking about that we want to get. Some are basically outposts, which, you know, you capture and they give you resources over time, such as this one and this one, which is very, very cool. I like that's remained. But also, there's just random one-off treasures if you happen to get there first, which I think is a great addition. It makes it feel a bit more like RPG-y, but loads of other sort of 4X games do that sort of thing. And it's really nice just to have that, just these little things that promote exploration. And I think that's very important, because you want there to be a reason to spread yourself too thin early. You want that to be a balancing act. You don't want to just go, well, all the resources I need are in my city, so I'll just sit on it. And I'll explore later when I'm prepared, right? No. No, go explore things. Oh my god. We just found a vehicle. I have no idea what this is. Before the Akrin arrived, that's the aliens, by the way. This is a large mechanical hover transport from which units can disembark further. Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't know that was a mechanic. So usually disembarking, you just, if you're in it, you can just deploy around it. It looks like you can deploy further around it, which is really exciting. That's really fun. Oh, that's a new mechanic to this game. So anyway, before the Akron arrived, I swear I saw these on TV. Giant hovercrafts used for rapid transport or salvaging oil rigs and broken down tankers. I think. They're far from the sea now. Far from the sea now, though. I don't think they had a missile battery back then either. That's really cool. So yeah, we also have the militants. These are our basic troops. Everyone who survived fought. Every one of us could have been a soldier. We called ourselves militants, though, because it reflected that we now fought for a purpose, political or social, the survival of mankind, whatever that took. And we also have the Outrider, which is like a ATV sort of transport thing. Large mechanical transport with light equipment, excellent reconnaissance abilities. Ex-military fast transports driven by militants, never designed to go toe-to-toe with the new enemies of mankind, but then nothing was. Artillery, nukes, carriers, all had failed. At least in an Outrider, you had a chance of getting away. That's why there were so many left. That's fun. So we're going to capture this thing. This is actually an Akron ship, an Akron crash site, that will give us research every turn, because we're going to have a rummage around and see if there's anything useful. We just found a alien mutant thingy, hammerheads. These are some of the creatures that have been made by that weird techno virus thing that was chasing the Akron. So that's kind of cool. And we discovered a wasteland, so every tile will have different sort of resources and sort of attributes, sort of defensive and things like that. Different speed modifiers, all kinds of things. Just like in Gladius as well. And a lot of other 4X games. But I think this does the terrain stuff like in a much bigger way than a lot of other 4X games do. I really like it. So the Akron didn't think of these as wastelands. They must have been thrilled when they found their precious algae grew naturally and took over some Earth environments. So this has very War of the Worlds sort of inspired, kind of vibes, where it sort of terraformed the world with like gross, goopy tendrils of algae, sort of spreading over things. I'm sure you guys have seen that movie. You should. It's fun. There's big aliens. This is what they wanted to do to our whole planet. We made the most of it. We had a war to win after all, but I made plans to burn every algae site to the ground when it all ended. So that will actually give us algae, which is a resource that gives you basic voice units, which are, I think, like your psychic mutants, basically. The voice is what they call that sort of the aliens as a religion, because that tends to happen when aliens show up. People go, probably God. Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Right, so the Survivors Bazaar down here. There were plenty of opportunities, idealists and swindlers who drew people to them in wastelands. What always surprised me was that these canny leaders never took up arms. Some of them could have led armies to victory. Instead, they brought everyone together. So this will give us its cover because it's an outpost. We won't be able to build here because it fills up the whole tile. But it gives extra healing rate because it's an outpost, and it gives influence to each turn, and for the controlling city gets a big bonus of 20%. And you also get trade gain. I haven't actually traded with anyone because that's not something that's existed in Gladius. And I haven't played a lot of this yet. But that's really fun that is a thing. Right, let's get that resource as well. We just got a Gauntlet of Ruin. So, hero units exist, and we can give those items. We don't have any heroes to begin with, so that's that. So let's see what this Hammerhead is all about, shall we? Hammerheads were powerful, if incoherent, tools. Once provoked into combat, they'd pick a target and batter it repeatedly, with each blow more powerful than the last. Perversely, when at peace, these machines were like robotic gardeners, specialised in eradicating the bleed of the voice. It's a ZEPHON unit, which is the, you know, crazy alien AI thing that chased the Akron here. I think. A lot of this is conjecture. Genuinely, a lot of it is conjecture. But anyway, I kind of love that this thing is trying to get rid of the bleed, which I think is this stuff. Yeah. So this stuff is yeah, the same stuff that grows out the wasteland, basically. The algae, I think. Possibly? I don't know. Bleed and algae might be very different things. Again, a lot of it's conjecture right now. We found water, human caches, deserts. So I wouldn't normally read through a lot of this stuff, but the amount of things you discover in this game is so high. And a lot of it is just, oh yeah, forest. So we can see, you know, it is a forest. It gives extra minerals. Has limited building slots. If you expand your city to it, you have to clear the forest before you get that third building slot. Every tile has 3 building slots, like by default, you know, and then you get modifiers like this. And chance for forests to spread, which is something new to this game. That forests can actually spread, which I think is very, very cool. That the world can change as you play. The Akron crash site. This, I feel, is important because, you know, this is proper world building. It's not, this is a forest. So every time you thought the last Akron ship had crashed from orbit, another would light up skies it burned up in Atmo. So that's, you know, the weird thing. This feels like they weren't very prepared, or it could just be because they were under attack by the ZEPHON as soon as they turned up. I don't know. The Akron looted them to reclaim pieces of their homeworld. The humans raided them to steal their technology. And ZEPHON, well, I still don't know what the ZEPHON wanted. I just know that we had to fight it for our share. Cool. Now, let's build things in our city. First, we need to acquire... Actually, we can build something on here. I might build a barrack straight away, and then we'll start acquiring tiles. I'll acquire that tile. And then I'll get something else. Let's see. I mean, this will give us extra minerals. That'll give us extra food. Food is going to be good for having, you know, more infantry running around. Minerals help us build vehicles. Certain vehicles will need energy, but buildings also need energy. So the more buildings you have, the more energy it's going to cost. Algae, again, that's for voice units. Chips is for cyber units. And influence and research. Influence is kind of a special resource for like hero units, but also like specific, like faction specific bonuses and things that you can do later on. Also research just gives us research, and we'll see the research tree in a minute. So I'll queue that stuff up. Let's go to our research tree, and you can see tier 1 is gigantic. In GLADIUS it used to be between like 4 and 6 technologies on each tier. And yeah, there's so many in this. I think I might go frag grenade early, so that way we can clear out enemy infantry easily, because they have splash damage, so they'll hit multiple units. So against groups of infantry, they'll do a lot more damage, and that's something we're going to be bumping into quite a lot early, I reckon. So we're going to get that. Now, let's go to the next turn.
This isn't the world I knew.
That's okay. Doesn't have to be. Oh, also, sandstorms are coming. See, there are sandstorms. They'll move around, and if you happen to stay in them, you'll take damage, I believe. So that's kind of fun. So this stuff will actually hurt you as well. Yeah, we discovered a sandstorm. There you go. Armor could block the sand. Scanners could penetrate the darkness, but nothing could protect your mind from the wrath of it all. Lightning, sand, and wind all blurred together, and the earth roared in vengeance. It knew about the violence we'd brought to its surface, and this storm was its way to fighting back. Fun. So it gives cover, but also you take damage, so it's interesting. Interesting. Fun sort of sci-fi trope, you know. Quick, hide in that nebula kind of lark. It's like, it's dangerous, how? But it's more dangerous for them. That kind of thing. So we start in the top right of the map, by the looks of it. This is the corner of the map. It's a very small map. This is the other corner of the map, so it's not far. But anyway, we'll explore. And the first thing we will probably bump into is the NPC faction. So unlike Gladius, this game has NPC factions as well as sort of the other players, I guess, that you're facing up against. You know, whether it's like AI or whatever, but the other main factions. So there are like minor factions that you can sort of cooperate with, form alliances with, or they might be a roadblock for you and try and kill you or whatever. But it gives sort of like a really interesting early game threat. If you're able to deal with them better than your opponents, then you might have a head start, which I think is pretty cool. I kind of like that as a thing. Now, what is this? Flesh tree. Oh, cool. I've always wanted one of those. Lovely. Flesh tree discovered. Never seen one of these. I need to walk away the day we decided to use these as a food source. But one smart logistics officer pinned me down with the math. If we camped by one of these trees, we could feed our people for a month. I asked them not to tell me if it turned out to be human meat. Oh dear. Well, that's horrendous. Also gained some research. Traitor's Grave discovered. It does name regions of the map, which doesn't really have any playable reason for it, but it did the same in Gladius. I think it's just nice that it does that. It makes it feel a bit more like a world that exists, you know? Okay, so you guys are looking good. You've all moved, huh? Alright, let's move on. Oh, hello. Here's some of the Akron remnants. So these represent, you know, the alien forces that are just sort of loitering in our home now. And they don't seem that pleased that we're here. But we just developed a frag grenade. So we just got shot and we went, oh, I just remembered. I've got these. Amazing. So we found the first of these in old garrisons marked with forgotten flags. Some civilians in our group commented that these once changed the face of warfare. Now they were just the starting point. The base level of power we need to win the wars ahead. And this is an ability for militants. And what an ability. We killed 2 out of 6. Is that enough? Well, no, but it's some. And we can shoot from here. So just like in Gladius, we actually have a fun ability on our assault rifles. It's called Close Quarters Fire, which is basically rapid fire from 40k. So if you're at half range, you do double attacks. Real straightforward. So if you're nice and close, you're able to hit them a lot more. You're able to shoot them a lot more. From here, we're just going to try and pick them off. So you also get Overwatch, so if they move in, you know, in range of you, you'll fire. Oh, you start moving up. Can you not shoot from there, huh? Whoops. Well, that's a shame. That's a pity. So this has... Okay, missile pods have 2 range. And let's see about these Akron remnants, huh? Akron survivors used the whispers of the voice to keep their people alive on a broken planet. When drafted into battle, every one of them was capable of regenerating a broken body. They were skilled at tearing them apart, too. Biological bleed walkers with strong healing powers and the ability to conjure bleed. Creepy. Very creepy. So they can make this stuff. Ooh. So yeah, the voice, from the way it's spoken about, makes me think that it could be compared to, like, the warp from 40k. It's some, like, other sort of power, but it does seem to have been, like, turned into a religion by humans. That's the impression I've gotten so far. Outrides get better accuracy. I like that. So some of these are, like, in gold. I wonder if this is supposed to be recommended and that'll change for each faction you play, because it could be that you get the same technologies for every faction. I actually don't know yet, but it could just be that these are sort of the preferred ones for each faction. So we're going to start with that one because it's in gold, so you know, kind of like the idea of recommended tech when there's that many. Sort of a nice ease of use thing, nice quality of life thing there. So they're still shooting at me, which is very rude. We are healing though, remember? Oh, and some abcluths are running in. Okay, there's dinosaurs attacking Nickel down. Ooh. Yeah, I agree. You really do not feel... You do not seem safe there. So the abcluths. The Akron creatures. Pets or food? I never knew. But they got loose from the wreckage of the crash site and made themselves a home here. We couldn't eat them. Fundamentally different biologies, I hear. But if you didn't hunt them, they'd kill or shred anything that you could eat. Ugh. Grim. So they regenerate health. And attack us with Abkluth bites. Cannot attack over cliffs, and they can't overwatch. So you can run up near them without fear of reprisal from approaching them. You can also just shoot them with your base guns, so that's nice. Oh my god, there was actually a cheer when we killed them. Oh, that's such a sweet touch. I love that. You'll probably notice if you guys have played Gladius, or, you know, watched me play it in the past, you'll see this game is so much prettier. It's gorgeous. Like, absolutely stunning. And it runs like, you know, like butter as well. Silky, silky smooth. Alright, let's grab this. What have we got? That gave us a bunch of influence. So you need to get out of there. You know what? Go grab those resources. You'll probably die next turn. I honestly don't mind. So you can finish them off. We'll deal with the hammerheads in a minute. But just running away is fine for me. So they will have to move closer, which means we will get an overwatch shot on them. So that's something, I guess. But they do still have the lasers. It's odd that the description says that they just sort of pick a target and batter it repeatedly. I guess they batter it with lasers. It makes it sound like they were like physically attacking people. But the only weapon they have is a laser gun. Laser gun fires in a straight line from A to B. There's no bullet drop, no wind resistance, nothing. Soldiers used to complain that they took the art out of aiming. Luckily, we were still students in the art of killing. In time, these became some of our favourite tools of the trade. Yeah, I can imagine. Good, because what's out there is this hammerhead. Nice. Took one down. So this game, and you know, just like Gladius, again, I'm just going to compare everything to Gladius. I can't help it. This is like basically a Gladius like reskinned with extra features. Like I love the formula. It's great. But yeah, any unit that has like multiple things will attack multiple times. They all act. You know, they all individually attack. So you do actually limit the sort of power of an enemy by whittling away its numbers. So you've got to bear that in mind when you're sort of choosing between targets. You could attack like a single target and do a bit of damage, or you could do a bunch of damage to you know a group of troops and kill a few, and then it means they'll be able to retaliate less on the next turn. You know, but sometimes you might just want to get rid of the big thing, you know, as a like a serious priority. In which case, fine. You know, you do you. I took out another one. Good. So the hammerheads are pretty flimsy, thank God, because these militants are having a very bad time of things. Oof, you poor sod. Research complete. Parthian equilibrium. I love the art as well. Just gorgeous art. I love it. So the fallen soldier could be so particular about military history. If you cracked open his journals, you would find notes to himself, like cavalry tactics useful with outriders. He believed in the great leaders who came before him. I urged him to balance these words carefully and find a way to forge his own path. So extra accuracy for outriders means they're going to be able to do more damage with their weapons. Ooh, and a watchtower. So this is really fun that this is something that's in the game, because this is basically taking a design cue from games like Heroes of Might and Magic, where there were watchtowers, and if you occupied it, you'd get like a big reveal of the map, which is super cool. I think it's a really nice addition. Alright, let's get over here and start shooting your rockets. That's not quite going to kill it. Oh my god, I could have actually finished him off with these guys. That's okay, we'll chase him down. Alright, how are we doing on buildings? So we don't have a barracks just yet. Our population will go up in Nickeldown. And we did discover a watchtower. The techs are still trying to figure out who built these. The architecture is human, but we haven't found any survivors who took credit for building them. ZEPHON doesn't need these to see, and the Akron survivors never liked staying in one place. It was eerie. We used these towers to get high ground and watch our enemies, but they always left you feeling like someone else was watching you. This is very interesting. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I wonder who built them. The fact that there's this line in the... Like, is that just from people walking to it and from it? Or is that suggesting something else? Dunno. I love the fact that like, this game is making me question literally everything. Even just like, oh, it's just a path, mate. I'm like, yeah, but what if it's a path for aliens? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Everything is making me wonder. Oh, automated factory. We'll build one of these. This will let us build outriders as well as other buildings later on. Actually, let's get a commander first. Then I'll get the outriders. Well, the outriders building. Yeah, I want to get a hero because we have items to give him. We have this Gauntlet of Ruin, which is very cool actually. Lets you remove bleed, ruins, and forests from target occupied tile, one at a time. It's a free move you can do every 5 turns. From a range away, you can just go, okay, that terrain feature's gone. Really helps you clear the map, which is handy. You know, you don't want to clear all the map. Sometimes you want to use forest as cover, but sometimes you just want to be able to move from A to B in a hurry, and you don't want it wasting your time. You know. Yeah, you better run. But please come back. I'm not done killing you.
This isn't the world I knew.
Okay, so this is really fun as well. There's random events that happen that basically give you just different sort of, I guess, like societal quandaries. It's basically like, how are we building our civilization from a like an ideological standpoint, which I think is really, really cool. Though actually this one doesn't seem so ideological, more just, you know, a random dilemma, but whatever. There's lots of events, and I've only seen like a couple, so it's all very new and exciting. So anyway, amidst the wreckage of a strained tanker ship, you find a suspicious styrofoam package along with a schedule for the training of a world-famous athlete. Unsurprisingly, they were using illegal performance enhancements, and this is their medical paraphernalia. Your medical professionals are concerned about the safety of using such drugs, even in the best state. But there are certainly benefits. Sell the drugs to passing traders who swear they'll never bring it back. Burn the drugs. The stuff was dangerous even the best times. Why risk using it now? Or give the drugs to your soldiers. Your troops could do with a performance boost. What could possibly go wrong? Or we could reproduce them if we had the orbital uplink technology. So the fact that some of these dilemmas actually require different tech, I think, is really fun. It's like very RPG oriented, where, you know, it's how you've built your society will change how you build it going forwards. You know, how you deal with problems. I love that. It's really fun. Makes your choices feel a bit more meaningful. So, you know, let's just risk it, okay? Because in my mind, we're playing as Captain America, who is basically just like a roided up superhero, right? So, let's do this. So what's going to happen? Generates experimental drugs ×3. Applies experimental effect, target allied biological unit. Okay, do we pick who gets them then? You pass the drugs along to your soldiers. Who knows what the effect might be? Limited testing you've done implies the treatment can be extremely beneficial if used by experts in controlled circumstances. You're not sure that your militants count as experts, or that the mutated alien horrorscape is anything but the opposite of a controlled environment. Oh dear. So... Oh, here we go. So I have it here. Applies experimental effect. Yeah, that sounds hilarious.
This isn't the world I
Alright,
knew.
what have you got? Extra attacks, extra damage. Gets invulnerable damage reduction, and he gets extra movement. But +6 hit points on removal. Oh, so he only gets that for 3 turns. And then he'll take half his health away. Alright, fine. I guess that'll be fine. Ooh, hello. Wow, he really ran away, huh? He ran way away. He'll be back, I'm sure. So we found some, wow, a lot of abcluths. Alright, can you get in here and throw a grenade? Maybe here and grenade. A little concerned about the damage they can do.
This isn't the world
But
I knew. Grenade is live. Clear.
we can do some pretty good damage to him. And he can overwatch if they decide to run in here. So there we go, that's one done. We can bring you down here. I'm going to move to this thing with him. So how are we looking over here? Still don't quite have a barracks. Next turn we can start recruiting more militants. Oh, they're running? Or trying to surround me. Only 2 damage, that's not too bad. Actually, it's too bad. It's the number 2. Bad. Let's grab this cyber cash. We got some chips. Delicious chips. Nom 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 nom. Alright, let's blast them. Alright, we're getting through these pretty well. Getting through them pretty well. Oh, and he's got a sandstorm. How very Darude of it. Get it? Hilarious. Alright, let's get a couple of militants queued. So that's all good. Happy about that. So we have our barracks built. And yeah, we're acquiring more tiles nearby so we can get more space to build in. As is tradition. We're actually running out of chips. What is using chips? Oh my god, is this thing a cyber unit? This counts as a cyber unit? Oh. Well, we got the commander researched. We hoped that the commanders were the best of us. They didn't skulk away from behind the front lines. They were out front, risking everything, talking to the refugees, fighting the horrors, equipping them with exoskeletons, improved their combat performance, but also did a hell of a lot for morale. Very nice. So this will give bonuses to nearby units. They're also a hell of a fighter, and they're very powerful. So let's get one. You can build them from the headquarters. In Gladius, I know, I'm going to keep doing this. In Gladius, you have to build like a hero building. In this one, it just gives it to you, which I think is honestly better. I think that's nice. It helps you skip that step where you have to sort of go, well, I do need to get a hero at some point, but then you have to give up on like other variety, which feels a bit of a waste. Oh, okay, they're all dead anyway. So nice. Did a good job. Also, really like crammed into this corner, which is interesting. What else we got? Let's get ourselves extra minerals on cliffs. And there's quite a few cliffs nearby. I don't know if up here or down here. They both count as cliff, as long as there's a cliff bordering it. Oh, by the way, this is important, okay? This is important for readability. Though I guess it does make the game look less... it gives it less fidelity, I guess. Hang on, was it this one? No, it is this one. If you scroll down in the video settings, you can turn on show grid and show cliff highlights. These are off by default, which I think is a mistake. But there you go. So you can see the grid nice and easily, and you can see the cliffs are outlined. That makes it much more readable, so I always stick it on. Okay, it's the same thing with Gladius. These were toggleable things. And I like them toggled. So when you get 3 technologies, it lets you unlock the next tier, and when you get 3 in here, it unlocks the next. So it basically lets you either surge forwards by doing the bare minimum each tier, or you can just fill in a load of gaps and go very broad and make sure you get loads of little bonuses here and there. But anyway, we're going to put unit upkeep down. That sounds good. And also, we're going to check to see if this is a cyber unit. It's mechanical. Maybe mechanical things use chips. Cost. There we go. Upkeep. It takes 1.3 chips. So we are actually running out of chips because we grabbed that. So I'm not sure if that was a good thing or not. Although he has been like relatively useful. Having someone else that can attack is nice. You know, let's try it here. Another flesh tree. Oh, hang on. I never captured that. Alright, dude, you need to go get the flesh tree, okay? We need that. We need the flesh tree. Ugh. Alright, let's bring you over here, and yeah, you can finish them off. And then hopefully he can move a little further. Maybe we can get to that flesh tree. Come on. Update movement. There we go. Ooh, hi. Hi, hundreds of enemies. Hello. My word. This might be a little iffy. Oh, there's that jerk. Oh, I can finish him. So, these guys, I find really amusing, because there was a Kickstarter recently. There's a miniature company called War Games Atlantic. I really love some of their kits. New kits called Conquistadors, which are really fun for sort of like Mordheim proxies. You know, they're really good. They also recently just did a Kickstarter for a faction called The Damned, which are basically just Imperial Guard, like Chaos proxies. Sort of like Chaos Imperial Guard, like Traitor Guard proxies, and they look almost exactly like this. Honestly, like I feel like you could make these identical things from those kits. Though I don't know yet, because they haven't sent out the models yet. The Kickstarter is quite recent. But yeah, they look so much like The Damned, which I find very funny. So anyway, the Reavers refused to be left behind in an arms race. As we built stronger armour, they scavenged more powerful weapons to break through it. Some found a particular love for fire. They would strike our flanks like a blazing hot wind, lobbing incendiary grenades that melted our troops to the bone. They wanted us to know that until all of them were slaughtered, they would always be a threat. Biological anti-armour unit. Yeah, sure they are. Like to see them try. Please don't try. I don't want to be melted, please. I should probably explore south. But I'll do that with new units, because I'm going to get new ones. And more meat trees, because you get extra food. You see, if you hover over the top bit, where it's like plus and then a static amount, each turn, that we get for just owning it. So, you know, as you step on top of it, it'll, you know, light up in your colours and you'll get that resource each turn. But the percentage one, that's only for a controlling city, and that means, like this one, where the city's influence overlaps it, right? That's what that means. So that gives you, you know, that extra one. Also generates meat harvest every 10 turns. +1 population to target allied city, which actually seems slightly different. That is that isn't a thing that existed in Gladius, so I don't know if we choose a city to, you know, benefit from that. That's an interesting concept. Or maybe it's a trade resource, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. So there's still some mysteries. Still some mysteries out there. So you don't Overwatch, do you? Or do you? Also, one thing this reminds me of, because they're a Reaver unit. It reminds me of Firefly. I think they're like, you know, sort of not zombies. They're sort of the not zombies. The weird, like, yeah, like, I don't know. Rust worshippers, almost. Like, it's all metal and grossness and murder. So anyway, we thought as the war went on, the Reavers would be less of a threat, with no researchers, no factories. They could never match our firepower. But every advancement we made was just another weapon they could steal and use to blow us to Kingdom Come. Just like these grenade launchers. Fun. So yeah, I guess... Okay, he can Overwatch. They can Overwatch. Well, I guess they did just a second ago, so... And they're gonna get... Oh my god, what the hell? Hi? Hi, Wiggle Boy. Okay. Oh my god, do you know what this looks like? This looks like, Mr. Blobby fell into the warp. Blobby! Oh no. I hate him. Why is he on my team now? Is that what happens when you... Okay, so I walked over a flesh tree. Is he the flesh tree? I don't understand. What are you? Is it gonna... It's not gonna explain what you are, huh? Okay, I guess I must have got it last turn, and it would just occupied the same space as my transport or something. But that's insane. Large biological creature with a horrifying attack that reduces enemy morale. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Has 32 health. 8 strength, I guess? Anyway, not all who bear the voice can comprehend it. Not all come back from the edge. Or not alone. It is better to come back like this, a bag of aggregated human systems and minds, or not at all. What must it be like to be in there? Oh my word. Alright, well we made a friend. And that's what matters, right? So we're going to jump into here. We can actually use our transport for once. And we're going to use it as a transport. I know, it's very exciting. I'll start blasting. You can get that flesh tree next turn, and maybe we'll get another flesh friend. Oh my god. Terrifying. Just terrifying. Our ATV's still doing fine. Our Outrider. Ooh, although that might change soon. It's pretty hurt. Also, do you heal each turn? How do you work? Does everything heal each turn? Salvation Protocols. So cheaper unit upkeep. Salvation Protocols. That was the fallen soldier's name for the creation of a corps of sanctioned scavengers who joined each unit on the battlefield. That's really cool. I like that. They'd keep their distance, never raising a weapon or rushing in to render aid. Only after the combatants withdrew would they rush in, recovering equipment and pulling mangled survivors out of the dirt. Modifier for leave no man behind, huh? Yeah, so usually it's 33% unit upkeep, and he's offsetting that by having dedicated support folk. Very cool. Alright, let's move you up. Let's move you up. No, not you. The flesh boy. Well, now where am I going to put these? I mean, I could put them here. I don't really want to put them there, though. Alright, let's just put you there. You can shoot them, right? Attaboy. And, oh, you can attack from there, too. Oh, because it's a larvae cannon. That's a cat. Oh, my God. Look at this thing. Ah. Oh, I hate it so much. Okay, so who are you going to shoot? Let's finish them off. I think that's wise. Just... Oh, so charming. Alright, another flesh friend? Okay, so we built our outpost here. No new flesh friend. Shame. I doubt there's anything up there. That would be a bit weird to have two outposts so close together. And we have our new boy. Alright, let's move around here. So there are some additional reavers here. So we're still only seeing grey banners right now. But there will be a neutral NPC faction around here. In the first game, in my little test game I played, they actually had two. They had two cities, one in each corner. And they actually had guys all over the place. But it could just be because I'm still really quite early on. But anyway, let's have a look at these reavers. Desperation drove some of our people to terrible ends. In what might have been humanity's last hour, they traded theirs away for better odds at staying alive in the wasteland. Their bodies walked the earth, but the people inside them faded away every passing day. Oof. And they get frenzied when surrounded, which is interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, we're going to end this episode here, though. I hope it's been a good introduction. We're going to keep playing until we get to turn 50, and then we're going to try out the other campaign as well. Because, yeah, as you can tell, I love this game. I have been waiting for this to come out for ages. Oh my god, there's the meat harvest. So how often do we get that?
Safe anymore.
Every 10 turns you get plus 1 population. That's sort of massive, actually. And do I have 2? Do I have more than 2? Wow, I had 3 of those. Okay, what the hell's our population now? I think we need to do the thing that gives us higher population. We only actually need 2 to work the 2 buildings we have, and we have 5 population, which is a bit unnecessary, honestly, to give it all that pop, but I just wanted to see if that would happen. So that's awesome. These meat trees are amazing. I love these little... Because, like, I don't feel like Gladius had so many just, like, random bonuses that you could sort of allocate around the place. These little buffs and things, you know, one-off stuff. It didn't have that sort of thing, but I really like that as well. Can you tell? I'm enamored by this game. I love the world. It's really spooky. I love learning about a new sci-fi world, and this feels like a great medium to do so. I love it. I love how they explain all the lore, and you can just dig in and try and piece it all together. I love it. And the gameplay is more Gladius, and I love Gladius, so it's all pretty great. Also, I'm pretty sure Control H still hides the HUD. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and go wishlist it. Go play the demo yourself on Steam, alright? Go get it. It's available now, I think. I got the demo early, but I played it late. So I think it's probably out by now, as of you watching this. But anyway, go check it out. ZEPHON, you'll find it. Have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.